Hello everybody and welcome back to SNR. My name is Kieran McGinley. Now I have a bit of a confession to make. This video wasn't recorded on the day of the actual championship. What I mean by that is this commentary is coming to you about 2 days afterwards. And the reason for that is my Elgato software decided not to actually work properly. It captured 9 minutes over the sort of hour and 20 it should have been recording, and that was the first 9 minutes, and it was separated into very cut out segments, but basically it was freeze frame for 9 minutes. So I had to do a backup solution, but it only took me until halfway through to realise that the Elgato way wasn't actually going to work. Now the Elgato normally records in 1080p. I then compress it down to 720p. It looks really good. Well, I say really good. It looks good when you're playing it on YouTube. With this system, with the way I had to do it this way, I had to record it through the PS4, which is already difficult enough. So I don't know how the quality is going to turn out on YouTube. Hopefully it'll turn out okay, but that's the reason for the dip in sort of video quality you may see. Until I get this problem fixed, that's the way I'm going to be having to record races. I'll have to record it on the PS4 using its share system with a commentary over it using my laptop. Hopefully that all works okay and we don't run into too many troubles. That being said though, let's go and have a look at the driver standings, because of course this is a championship decider, this race. If DarrenSinclair finishes on the podium, pretty much, then that means he wins the championship. If chelseaboy wants to take it to Abu Dhabi, he will have to win the race, and DarrenSinclair must not finish on the podium. That's the only way this championship is going to Abu Dhabi. So it'll be interesting to see what happens during the race. But if we have a look at the championship standings, you can see DarrenSinclair on top there on 284, chelseaboy behind him on 250. The battle for the best of the rest still carries on between the Gort and Bravo. The Williams boys are battling it out on 162 and 161. So that's going to be a close battle for that third place in the championship. And then we move down, we have Zippo there with 94 points. In 6th is Heffy on 85. We have 7th place White Samba on 76. Heemkarl there on 56. Is that 56 points, I do believe? Sorry, 56. And then we have Rockatoni on 55. We have AJ to the P also on 55, Geordie Davey on 48. Then we have W4 on 40 points. We have Rocket on 35, Titiem on 34 points, Jensen on 28, DK on 26, sorry, Shug M on 21 points. We have Spike Bobster on 1 point, as with ESP Kruspa, and then we have NATO at the bottom there on 0 points. And now we're going to have a look at the constructors' standing, still to be decided. Sauber lead the way from Williams by a big gap of 13 points. McLaren there, not far behind, they're still in the championship running on 335. Mercedes there on 283. There's no real way they can come back in the championship unless they can really pull off a 1-2. Red Bull there on 124, then we have Toro Rosso on 79, Force India on 78, and Haas on 77. So the battle between those three teams is hotting up. Then we have Renault on 58, and at the bottom Ferrari on 37. Now, here we are at the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache, which is, well, as everybody knows, Crofty can't pronounce Portuguese that very well, and neither can I. Jung Sao is not a corner name I would be expecting to get right at any point in my career, no matter how hard I try. But that fast left-hander is on the last corners at Brazil. Of course, you have the SNR S's looking to turn one there. That's where you're going to find the most overtakes. 2 DRS zones, one right the way along the main straight, and of course down the back straight there after the Senna chicane. Have a look as well into the S section towards sector 2. Plenty of hairpins there to have a go down the inside. As long as you don't lock up the tyres too much, you should be absolutely fine. We're now going to join halfway through the race, and what I will say now is that Darren Sinclair did grab pole. Chelsea Boy would start down in 5th place. AJ to the P would qualify in 2nd, which was a fantastic result for him, but a poor start would see him drop away down the field to around about 6th and 7th place, where he'd battle his way up. We're going to join you now on the other side of this edit. We're about halfway through the race. Again, apologies for this. I really didn't want it to do this. Really didn't want to happen this way, but we're going to join halfway through the race now, and we will see you after this edit. So as you can see, Darren Sinclair here. Hopefully everything's working now and everything's recording. We had a hectic start, and Heffy's retired from the session. Let's go on board with him, and yeah, he's hit the wall. He has absolutely smashed into the wall there. My goodness, that was a really hard hit there. Hopefully everything's okay with Heffy, but that is him out of the race. Let's have a look now and see if we can ride on board with someone else. Just trying to see which battles to go for, but hopefully Heffy is okay. I don't know if he's going to leave the session. He has left the session. Okay, so the telemetry is all gone. Okay. Okay. Well, I do know that your leader is Darren Sinclair. On second there is that is Bravo Wolf, I do believe, in the number 12 car. That is Heem Carl there in 3rd place, or is that AJ to the P? I think, oh no, it's 23, so that is AJ to the P. There is Heem Carl in 4th place. There is the Gort there, I believe, in 5th. And then we have Chelsea Boy in 6th. That is, I think that's DK in 7th, or it might be the other Haas driver. Oh, this is going to make my job a little bit difficult. I think that's Jensen there in 8th place. It might actually be White Samba. Well, DK has got himself a 3-second time penalty. Well, this is thrown a spanner into the works. As Darren Sinclair now sets a 55-second lap time. I think it's all just going slightly wrong, really, isn't it? 55 seconds there. That's a validated lap time, so fantastic. We're well on our way to a fantastic classic race. Yellow flag in sector 3, as I now desperately look to see who that could be. That is a Mercedes, and that's Rockatoni. Recognise that green helmet there, and he is in the pause menu because the AI is stopping to make sure all the cars can go through. And apparently that's Chelsea Boy in a Force India, even though that's Shug M. So, okay, so is Rockatoni out of the session? I'm not quite sure. He is in the pause menu, but we will find out as soon as we can. Meanwhile, we have the Red Bull here in 9th place. Yeah, it's very difficult to. That was DK. Sorry. Now riding on board with, I believe that's White Samba on board now in 8th place. Well, this is going to make my job just that little bit more difficult. Hopefully that telemetry does come back. Otherwise I'm going to be a bit of a lost puppy without it. But anyway, your leader there is Darren Sinclair. We have, I believe that is number 12 car, so that is going to be Bravo Wolf. Yes, that is Bravo Wolf there in 2nd. We have AJ Tippy behind him. This is the battle for 2nd place, as we see the other Renault there of Heem car under attack from the other Williams of the Gort. So we're going to be looking on board for the battle between 2nd and 3rd and 4th and 4th and 5th. And Chelsea Boy there in 6th place. We have a Haas there in 7th place. I will try and remember it. The White Samba there is in 8th place, closely followed by the Red Bull in 9th place. There is DK in 10th place. Sorry, that's the White Samba in the Sauber there in 11th place. See, now this is very difficult now because I have to remember who drives for which team. So this is going to be a really difficult job for me. Of course, this would be the weekend where my phone dies and the battery just doesn't work. So yeah, we're just going to have a scroll through the drivers here. There's the Mercedes. There is Shug M in 14th there. As we're looking on board now, this is the battle between the white I don't know. It's a battle between a Red Bull and a Toro Rosso. That's all I know. The Red Bull goes cleanly through up into P8. So let's have a look now. We have DarrenSinclair still leading the way, and here's the battle for second. Bravo Wolf trying to hold off AJ to the P as AJ to the P goes down the inside, going through turn 4. Has he got the position? Yes, he has. He holds on to it for now, and that is a fantastic move going down into turn 4. But Bravo Wolf here, it's not going to be enough though. The telemetry is having a bit of a nightmare because I'm seeing AJ to the P there on soft tyres, and the telemetry saying he's on super softs. So that's pretty interesting call. There is the Gort there in position 4, and he's trying to chase down for a podium spot. Yeah, hopefully this telemetry thing sorts itself out. I'm really hoping so. Yes, so there's your leader there, DarrenSinclair, as he goes along that back straight there to start lap 23. We are with that is 11th place Toro Rosso. I'm not quite sure. I'm just trying to sort of hide the UI, see if it comes back or anything. That hasn't worked, so every driver is to do now. But here is your battle for second place. That's AJ to the P up ahead. That is Bravo Wolf we're riding on board with, and hopefully this telemetry does come back. But as you can see, Bravo Wolf is falling behind, and that is, I believe that's Heimkarl in the pits. Yes, that is Heimkarl into the pits, and is it a tyre change? It is, as Haas in the background there comes in as well. And Heimkarl putting on some tyres, and off he goes. Meanwhile now we're going to ride on board with Bravo Wolf as he's on the back of AJ to the P. We'll have a see if this battle gets any juicier than it already is, as Bravo Wolf is closing in. And let's see now, what can he do from this position? This is the battle for second place as they head towards that last corner. Of course, Lewis Hamilton passed Timo Glock to win the 2008 championship, and whether or not think that was just extreme amount of luck, you know, that memory will always last in the memory. Also the place where Sebastian Vettel took many of his titles on his Red Bull dominating years. And we have someone in the pits there. Let's have a look. That is AJ to the P into the pits, and he comes in now. And yeah, I knew there was some sort of glitch there as AJ to the P leaves the pits. Now he's on soft tyres, so he makes his way around this very tricky pit lane. Very easy to get it wrong. There's the Gort, and we have a Williams there. Is that a Williams? I think it was. Yes, it was Bravo Wolf who lost it there, and well, the Gort now is going to try and catch up. Yellow flag in sector 2, and the Gort here has an easy, well, pretty much is going to try and get a good overtake on him. We'll see, and he has done. Sorry, I was scrolling through, seeing what other drivers there were. I've missed the overtake. Brilliant. I'm really good at this. Anyway, Chelsea Boy up into 4th place now on those medium tyres, looking to try and make it to the end of the race. Let's see now. That's a Toro Rosso there, and I'm not sure who that is. That's the mystery Toro Rosso that I can't quite figure out who it is. It might be. I'm not sure. I don't want to take a guess at the moment because I'm going to be. Drivers retired from the session. That's someone in 13th place. Shug M has left the session, and there's the Toro Rosso pulling over. So. Well, I wish I could tell you who that was. We've got a Haas there with a no front wing. ESP Krusper has left the session, so that was probably the Red Bull, either that or the Toro Rosso. There is, I believe that's Spark Bob still we're riding on board with. Yes, we have Geordie Davey. Geordie Davey, there you go. That's who's in that Red Bull. Very easy to cut the corner there and get yourself a penalty. So that's Geordie Davey. I've figured this out now. But yes, you're probably wondering, Rocket Queen has left the session. Rocket Queen was in the Toro Rosso. So there we go. Rocket Queen was also the driver who brought in these baby blue helmets you're seeing on all of the drivers. So I'd just like to say congratulations to Invader Zippo on becoming a dad. And that's why you can see, including the leader himself as well, DarrenSinclair wearing that baby blue helmet to congratulate Invader Zippo on the birth of his baby son. Back to the race then. We have Chelsea Boy in third. We have, I believe that's AJ to the P in fourth. Either that or it's team car. Car number 23. So that is AJ to the P, or is that? Yeah, it's going to be very confusing. We have Geordie Davey there in fifth. We're going to ride on board with the Williams of, I believe that's Bravo Wolf. Is that Bravo Wolf? I'm not quite sure. It's really difficult to tell. And the telemetry is just all gone and you can hardly see the number, but there's your Haas there. We have in ninth place there a Ferrari. I'm not quite sure who that is either, but we have White Samba there picking himself up. 3-second time penalty. He's inventing his new track, I think. But yes, there we go as he rounds the final corner on his way to start another lap. Who is this we're riding on board with in 11th place? That is the driver of Shug M, the ghost of Shug M, I should say, riding around here. So if he does rejoin the session, he can just rejoin in that car. Meanwhile, DK, sorry, that's not DK. We have a Mercedes. I believe that's Invader Zippo. I'm not quite sure. I can't remember. But there is Spark Bobster in the Ferrari in P15. We are going to see, that's the mystery driver in the Haas, number 71. I can't remember who that is, but I think this is Bravo Wolf we're riding on board with, being chased down by the Haas driver, car number 71. Well, I've been hoping for this telemetry to come back, but it's obviously not going to come back, as we see someone come into the pits there in P6, now down to P7. And again, oh, we've got the Williams there, who's lost it and lost the position to the Haas driver. Well, let's see, have a look who that was. I think that's Bravo Wolf, is it? Yes, it is. It is Bravo Wolf. We've got Geordie Davey coming out of the pits now in P8 as he rejoins the track. Very easy to lose it in that pit lane. Just keep your concentration and rejoins the circuit here in position number 8. So we've got only a couple of laps left. We've got the mystery driver, car number 71. It's a lot more difficult when you don't have the telemetry. I've discovered this weekend. Darren Sinclair still leads the way at this point in time. He'll be walking away the champion. There is the Gort in second place. Here we have in third place, I believe, that is Chelsea Boy. Yes, it is Chelsea Boy. So he's still doing his best to try and close the gap, but he is around 23 seconds behind Chelsea Boy. So as it stands, Darren Sinclair will be walking away with the title here. Apparently though, Chelsea Boy is on his outlap, so I mean the telemetry really has sort of screwed up, hasn't it? I'm not quite sure what's going on here, but this might have something to do with Heffy, the host, leaving the session, which won't have helped things. But yeah, I'll keep doing my best to try and keep you up to date with the championship standings. As it stands though, we are seeing a champion crowned today, and it will be Darren Sinclair as he starts lap number 29, coming up to lap his teammate White Samba, who well, I think the Sauber team boss will be over the radio to tell him to get out of the way as soon as he can. He'll be scoring some points here for Sauber, important points for their championship, as we see a Ferrari there leave the pit lane, and yeah, there we go. White Samba gets well out of the way and carries on with his race. Here we see the battle for fourth place as Heemkar goes down the inside, or is that AJ to the P? I think that's AJ to the P going down the inside of Chelsea Boy, who takes third place. Well, that is a huge blow for Chelsea Boy, as the Mercedes there gets well out of the way, and the Renault driver of, I believe that is AJ to the P, takes the position away from Chelsea Boy and makes this even harder. Let's have a look at the race director. There we are, Darren Sinclair. It is AJ to the P, I was right. Chelsea Boy there in fourth, Heemkar fifth, we've got W4 in sixth, Bravo Wolf there in seventh. Forgetting it wrong. There is a Mercedes of Invader Zippo there in 11th place. We've got in the Haas, we've got W4. So yeah, that's who that was. Sorry, mystery driver. You're now W4. Now I know that. And we've got loads of drivers who have either ghosted or retired from the session. So I'll try and check the race director a little bit more often now. I completely slipped my mind that I could do that. So we have Chelsea Boy there in 4th place, and he's losing time to AJ to the P. We have Hinkal there in 5th place, coming around that final few corners. I like to call that the last corner, last braking zone of the track, as he goes through that, and he'll be trying to close in on Chelsea Boy as well. Here we have in 7th place, we have Bravo Wolf, who was at one point on the podium, and it's not gone too well for him at all. We have W4 in 6th place. Now I know who this mystery Haas driver is, and it is W4, who is on his way to try and score some good points for Haas, and that's going to help him in that midfield team constructors battle. Let's have a see and see if we can ride on board with Chelsea Boy. There we go. We've also got AJ to the P in 3rd place. So yes, he is pulling out a gap, you can see. But I'll tell you who's pulling out a massive gap. It's DarrenSinclair, as he goes on to start lap 31. We have, I think it's 6 laps to go. Yes, we have 6 laps to go in this race, and as it stands, DarrenSinclair will be walking away with the championship. Let's have a look at the race director. Let's have a look at all of these penalties, because that's going to come into play at the end of the race. Many of them are just warnings, so shouldn't affect the standings too much. But we see Jensen there retired on lap 1 due to an incident. ESP Krusper also left the session. Heffy collided with the wall. GM Rocket Queen also has left the session, as has Rocket Tony. As we could see, Shug M as well as the ghost car, as Invader Zippo slips past up into the points. So we have here, I believe this is Titium leaving the pit lane now in that Ferrari, and it is. And he'll be leaving that pit lane. Let's just check that is Titium. And it is, yes. He's just leaving the pit lane now. So that is Titium leaving the pit lane out back onto the track. As we're going to ride on board with Shug M, who is in 11th place. Still ghosting though. So I'm not sure if he's actually left the session or not. But we will see. We've got the Mercedes ahead as well. They're both ghosting. So let's have a look on board now with the Gort. As just have a look at the race director. Just check it is the Gort, and it is the Gort in 2nd place there. Really difficult when you've got no telemetry. Yellow flag in Sector 1, which is now gone. Rocket Toady there, still the ghost car. Just trying to see who that might have been, but no dice, didn't find out who it was. We've got Bravo Wolf there in 7th, W4 there in 6th, but his Bravo Wolf closing in on W4. Big lock up into the last braking zone of the lap. Not long to go in this session now. Geordie Davey there is in 8th place. We've got we've got White Samba there in 9th. We have Invader Zippo in 10th. Let me just check that. It's really professional to do this. Yes, that is Invader Zippo. We've got a driver retired from the session. Someone in 13th place. And I think that's Titium, who's come into the pits now to retire from the session. Let me just give that a quick check. And it is Titium who is retired from the session. So, well, obviously not Ferrari's day, and they decided to call it a day for Titium. That is a shame to see that. It means we will have a yellow flag in Sector 1 until the game gets rid of the card. The driver's retired from session. That's 8th place. That's Geordie Davey. Well, I mean, he shouldn't be retiring from the session here unless that's a disconnection. That could be a disconnection from the session, and that is a huge shame for Geordie Davey. He was running really, really well in the points. And I think, was that his front right tyre gone, or was that just the way it ghosted? Well, either way, we're now riding on board with Bravo Wolf. He's trying to go round the outside of W4. Now is he going to try and switch it back? No, W4 goes defensive. Bravo Wolf takes this wider line. Driver retired from session. That is Spark Bobster now, who's retired from the session. Let me see if I can try and find out in 9th there. No, I'm not quite sure, as we're going to now ride on board with Bravo Wolf round the outside of W4. Can he make the move around the outside as they break into turn 1? Lock up there as W4 goes defensive. Bravo Wolf runs wide, clips the wall, and hopefully there's not too much damage there from him, as DK there is behind. I'm not sure if that's for position or not. I don't believe it is. But he has lost a big amount of time as White Samba once again just making his own track out here. He runs in P8 right now, does White Samba. Meanwhile though, with 3 laps to go, Chelsea Boy is your leader. And he, at the moment, will be taking that crown away for him this season with only one race to go. It's been a pretty dominant showing from DarrenSinclair in this race and in the championship. Did have that dip in mid-season, but he's recovered well. We've got fourth place here, chelseaboy, who is, well, he's run a good race this season, really challenged DarrenSinclair, but dominant one-stop specials from DarrenSinclair have made this championship what it looks like right now. But if I know chelseaboy is going to fight towards the end. Meanwhile, we've got riding on board with DK now, as this looks to be a position change. It will be. That's the Ghost of Shug M, and yes, DK here is going to go through the Ghost and up into 10th place. So that's valuable points for Haas there in their mid-table battle. Invader Zippo there getting a 3-second time penalty. As now we ride on board with AJ to the P in 3rd place. Only joined the season late, but has shown some really good results. chelseaboy there in 4th, Heemkarl 5th. We've got W4 in 6th there, as he's under pressure from Bravo Wolf behind, who is in 7th place. 8th place there is Invader Zippo. 9th place is, sorry, White Samba is in 8th place, Invader Zippo in 9th place. I always get those two mixed up when I've got no telemetry. We've got DK there in 10th place. And still though, DarrenSinclair with only 2 laps to go still leads the way. It's not over yet though. It's not over until the last checkered flag falls. And yes, we've still got around about 3 miles still to go in this race. We're having a look at Bravo Wolf now on the back of W4 as he's trying to find a way past, looking down the inside along this straight that's not a straight into the DRS zone, and Bravo Wolf has the position now, but can W4 get a chance to look down the inside maybe? No, not quite, as Bravo Wolf takes the position and takes P6 away from W4. Good move there. Close battling between those two, and definitely the battle between these two have been it's been one of the highlights of the race. But DarrenSinclair now crosses the line for the penultimate time this race to start the final lap of this Brazilian Grand Prix. There's a little bit of lag now as we're heading into the closing stages. I can only apologise for that as well, as DarrenSinclair starts his final lap. And at the moment, as things stand, the championship will be won today, as we're going to ride on board for as much as we can. There doesn't look to be too many battles. chelseaboy there in 4th place. We've got AJ to the P in 3rd, and I don't think he's closing that gap too much to take advantage. But DarrenSinclair still leading the way. A lovely helicopter camera to show him go through this S section. It has been a dominant season from DarrenSinclair. He may have missed the first 2 races of this season, but he's shown such dominant form and such consistency in this season. It's been a joy to watch some of his Sinclair one-stop specials. As he rounds into the final braking zone and makes his way across the line. A little bit of oversteer there. That's probably the only mistake he's made all race. As DarrenSinclair goes down the straight that's not a straight into Hong Sao. Comes across the line now, and DarrenSinclair is your SNR champion for this season. Congratulations to him. He's fully deserved the championship. What a race he's had, and what a season he's had. He is your SNR champion for this season. 2nd place here will be the Gort. He comes across the line to take 2nd place and puts himself at a big advantage against his teammate going into the last race of the season. There's AJ to the P. He'll cross the line in 3rd place. chelseaboy put up a great fight during this season, finishes in 4th place, confirms that DarrenSinclair is the champion. There's Heemkarl now. He'll cross the line in 5th place. With penalties added on, he's still in 5th place. We have W4, is that? Sorry, no, that is Bravo Wolf, finishes in 6th place. But your champion for this season and your race winner is DarrenSinclair. Congratulations to him. He is your SNR champion this season. Well, I think that champagne's going to taste a little bit sweeter for DarrenSinclair. He claims the championship with 1 race still to go. He is your SNR champion. Well, I'd love to tell you full results, but there's no names. But Darren Sinclair is the champion of SNR for this season. Congratulations to him. The constructors is still to be decided at Abu Dhabi. And also what's to be decided is third place in the championship between the Gort and Bravo Wolf. But for today, from this Brazilian Grand Prix, join us next time for round 20 in Abu Dhabi. I really hope you could join us for then. We'll have a look at all the championship standings and the battle for third place in the drivers, as well as any remaining constructors' battles that need to be settled in the desert of Abu Dhabi. But what has been confirmed today is Darren Sinclair is the SNR champion. So round 20 is in Abu Dhabi. It's the last race of the season. I hope you can join us for then. My name's Kieran McGinley. You've been watching. And until Abu Dhabi, take care of yourselves. And I'll see you next time.